Good morning. Welcome to our Monday meditation, everyone. I'm just going to take a few moments just to check everything is clear. We've got a lot of wind in the field. There's a few little glitches, but I think we're good now. So let's see who is here with us live as we enter into Sacral Chakra Part 2. And I'm going to just hover a little bit before I start sharing a bit about that so that you don't miss out if you're jumping on here live this morning. You can see we've got a couple jumping on. And if you're watching the replay, do let us know you're here, because I get people messaging me or commenting, later saying, "Oh, I love all your meditations," and it's the first time I've heard from them, and they've been watching for ages. And we have these silent watchers. So if you're watching and you haven't commented before or said hello, do say hello, because we'd love to hear from you. I love to hold you in my awareness each week. And it's always great, the more people that actually share something here underneath means the more people are likely to see it on their feed, of course, as well. Good morning, beautiful Kerry. Yes, it is a new hairdo. Yeah, do you like it? Going for a little bit more lightness. Hair off the back of my neck. I might even go a little shorter. I'm not sure. A little more kind of angular. So I'm playing with it. And who else is with us here this morning? Let's see. Got a couple more jumping on. As always, when we get to the second part of the chakra that we're working with, I always really encourage you to make sure you are super grounded in the first aspect, because the first aspect is where we really work with the Bij mantra, work with activating, feeling into it. What is the energy of this chakra? What is the essential kind of thread that runs through here? And then the second week, this week, really goes deeper into perhaps a more healing component or a more activating component, usually a bit of a deeper aspect of it. So it's great to be super grounded in week one. If you haven't done that and you're rocking up today, no worries, do it anyway. But I do encourage you then to go back and do part one and then come back to this one again. Thank you, Kerry. Fresh and fantastic. I love that. That was part of the goal, so that's good. Tick. Box ticked. Good morning, beautiful Yvette. Lovely to see you. And I think we have another one. So that would be good to hear from you too. Always good to have a little bit of a chat with everyone that's on, because that's the beauty of having these lives, isn't it? That we can actually connect and see who's here with us live. So like I say, if you're watching this on the replay, say hi too. And you can always tag me, and then I'll get to see that coming through in my notifications. So how is this second part of Sacral Chakra different to the first? Well, of course, we're still working with Sacral Chakra. We're just going to dive into this aspect of I am a creator. Last week, we worked into the essential element of Sacral Chakra, which is I have a right to feel. I have a right to feel. Because we create from feeling, we create from desire, not the mental desire around ego and want, or the desire that comes around from having a wounded heart and wanting to fix that or fix others. No, not that. From the deeper gut, womb, void energy of creating as she creates through this divine impulse. Now, I know that you have felt this at some point, that impulse that rises up in you like a juice, and you are lit up, you are on fire, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is it. Yes, that desire. And we want to be able to hold that desire, because it is that energy, that rising frequency of what I call it, rising Shakti, that Kundalini energy, but particularly the Shakti energy, is the energy that we need to hold in order to create. That is a magnetic energy. It is the energy that ignites the solar plexus, which we're going to get to next week, with the fire and the will, which brings with it the energy to create, right? Which brings with it then the passion from the heart and the love to infect the world with that goodness, right? To infect the world with that goodness. Good morning, Miss Braun. Welcome, welcome, beautiful one. So it is so important that we learned first last week about how to give ourselves permission to truly feel. Why? Because some of those desires are pretty scary. If you've been following me the last few years, I've had some strong desires that are damn scary and right against what my brain is saying the logical thing to be doing right now. And if you are going to follow source, you're not following some source, godlike sound that's coming outside of you telling you what to do. No, you're following the source energy, this Shakti rising impulse. You are following that. You are following that deep gut, primal, pre-primal energy and deep desires of source wanting to create through you, right? Why don't we do that? Because we have acquired fears and mental impressions and paradigms around humanness. It's part of why we're here, to differentiate and discern between the two. But we have acquired all this mental humanness and fears and wounds that limit us and tell us that it's not okay to be powerful. It's not okay to follow those desires. It's selfish. We are dangerous. As women especially, we had so much power, and those that wanted to rise into power through masculinity, through the church, through various hierarchical, patriarchal structures, decided to demonize the power of the womb in order to silence women, to bring the patriarchy to the front. Now we are in this huge shift and transformation right now of the rise of the feminine and reclaiming our power as women, which arises from the womb. So not only do we have many ancestral and just super consciousness wounds to heal around the different ways that power of the womb was suppressed, but we also have our day-to-day humanness from this lifetime that may create challenges around connecting with the power of our womb. Now, whether that is trauma from birthing, whether that is just menstrual monthly cycle trauma, whether that is abuse trauma, whether that is just being told not to be so emotional, not to be a dreamer, how are you going to make your way doing that thing that you had a big desire about? There's lots of ways that the power of our womb and its desires have been inhibited, squashed, clamped down, belittled, pushed away, tucked away. It's much easier and safer to live how everyone else is living, right? And yet, if you are someone that is really called and is awakening now on your path, you will be feeling a rising discontent about that, a rising unease about that you don't want to live this small life. You don't want to live how everyone else is living. You want to live to the whim of your desires, with power and with gentleness and with grace flowing through you, and with the creative force rising through you. And you want joy, and you want color, and you want nature, and you want stillness and silence and peace by yourself, right? You want all of these things, and it is rising in you. It is wanting to be expressed through you. And the more that you squash that, the more uncomfortable, the more depressed, the more low energy, the more pissed off, the more resentful at others you will get, until you start saying yes to yourself, yes to that inner voice. But you can't say yes until you allow that voice and that feeling to be there. That is the purpose of last week, is to allow the feeling, allow the rising desire, allow it to be there. Because when you have squashed it for a long time, it's like anything. It's a muscle that takes a while to activate. You have to listen for a while. Your desires haven't felt safe with you for a long time, perhaps some of you. Others, you're creating all the time. But if those desires haven't felt safe to be with you because they haven't felt heard, or you haven't felt safe in your being to allow them through because of all the things we've just mentioned, then it takes a while for yourself to feel safe with that. So that is why last week is really important, to give yourself permission that I am safe. It is okay for me to feel. It is not only that I am safe, but I need to feel. I give myself permission. And then we can move to this week, where we are now harnessing that feeling. We are building it and giving it so much love and listening that we can activate and really hold and feel that desire and discern and hear what is coming through that feeling. Yeah. Awesome. Who else has joined us? I can see we've got a couple of others just jumped on. Have a moment to digest that. You know, do you relate? Put a little like, yes, I relate down. If you relate to that feeling of flat energy, or feeling resentful or discontent or minimized because you have somehow been limiting the passion and the juice of those desires, usually in order to make others feel comfortable and to make yourself feel comfortable within the current paradigm. Well, let me tell you, you are not here to be comfortable. You are not here to be comfortable. You are here to feel comfortable with your discomfort until you can feel truly at ease with the fullness of who you are, in order to let that come through, in spite of anyone else, right? In spite of what anyone else thinks, and in spite of your past. Oh, we had a little drop out there in the frame rate, so you might be getting a little bit of jerkiness your end. I can see my videos going a little with this wind. I think the connection's a little unstable, but we're going to keep plugging on, because usually what happens is that the replay is completely fine. And I can see there's no more comments coming through, so let's just give this a little bit of a whirl. I'll just explain a little bit about what we're going to be using. Yeah, I think we're having a few little problems with the streaming coming through, and hopefully it's going to sort itself out in a moment. So we're going to be using still Apan Mudra that we used last week, which helps us to release negative emotions or challenging emotions that are limiting us, that are old stuff, right? That is coming through and stopping us from really feeling the fullness of our own desires. And the mantra this week, I'm going to bring in the Lakshmi mantra, Om Shri Mahalakshmiyei Namaha. I put it in the top, Om Shri Mahalakshmiyei Namaha. Looks like we've bounced back up. That looks better on our signal. Because the Lakshmi energy is the aspect of the feminine that creates in form, that sustains. And she is infinite love. You are infinite love. She celebrates beauty and creates through beauty and love and desires for more beauty in the world, right? Like, how gorgeous is that? Creating through the positive. We need to shift out of creating through lack, through suffering, right? I want this because I don't want that. How better to shift and see so much beauty, and we just wanted to create more beauty, right? See wonderful things in the world. Know that you are worthy. Know that you are talented. Know that you are exquisite. Know that you have these incredible gifts, and just want to bring even more of that to the world, right? Rather than operating through lack and pain. Here we go. Awesome. So that's where we're at. And the breath is going to be rising that energy up. We're going to be breathing into womb space and then breathing that energy up the spine in order to initially bathe our own nervous system with goodness, and then to bring that energy up and out, to bring those desires up, bring them up to be expressed by harnessing in and utilizing the qualities of our other energy centers, so that we can bring that desire out in the world. It doesn't stay here in the womb, stay in the pot, right? We've got to share it out with the world. That nourishment's no good if it stays in the pot, right? We've got to bring it out. All right, we're still getting a few issues with the video frame, I think, but I'm going to carry on. And we're just going to see, and hopefully if you do have to drop out today, hopefully the replay looks okay. I'm not getting the comments coming through, but that might just be because Facebook is not struggling with that a little bit. All good. So let's come to Apan Mudra. Rest the hands down. And just feel for a moment, like that, let what I've just said filter through your awareness of How have you been showing up with your desires? Have you had desires? You know, have you been so used to limiting them or squashing them or feeling fear around them that they haven't been coming to fruition, or you haven't even felt them, or maybe you've felt, you know, little sparks of it, but you've been not giving yourself permission to really feed those because of what that might mean for your life and how that might change your life or change others in your life. This is a huge part of why we squash our desires. If I squash my desire, or if I allow my desire, that might change how my relationship operates, where I live, you know, my job, my security, all of these things. But we have to feed the desire so that the desire becomes greater than the fear, and it tends to obliterate the obstacles and give you enough courage to tackle those shifts and changes. Right? Because grace is wanting to move through you. Grace is wanting to elevate you to the highest possible expression of yourself. So the limitations and obstacles that your mind is seeing right now, they're not real. They will dissolve as you start to enact and give more presence and focus to the energy of those desires. And it will give you the courage and the presence and the tenacity to follow through on anything that is a little chewy, because change can be chewy, right? And some things just need tackling, need to bring you into a little bit of conflict. Some things just need to happen like that, right? It's just the way it is. But we have to feed our desires for our desires to become greater than the fears and the obstacles and the old paradigms and the energy of inertia. We have to feed the desire. Yes? Yes. Apan Mudra. So closing the eyes, feeling into all of that, of what's your story with that? What's been your pattern? What is currently your pattern? And feel your body. Feel your surroundings and give permission for that right now. Feel your body. Give permission for yourself to be in all of your physicalness right now, all of your human physicality. Welcome it. Thank you, body, for giving me life on earth. And as you come into your breath, take an exhale and feel yourself rooting down, feeling the weight of your body on the earth, sending the roots of your awareness deep, deep down. Connecting with the womb of Mother Earth. Even if you are a man listening to this, you have an energetic womb. You can still connect your center with the womb of the earth. She who creates constantly so much abundance from which we are nourished physically and emotionally through so much beauty. So much nutrition, so much variety. Thank you, Mother Earth, for creating so incredibly, so wondrously, so incessantly. And if you're still struggling to connect with womb space, just bring one hand to your womb now and keep the other one in Apan Mudra. Remember, for men, we are just a couple of fingers below the belly button. For women, we're a good hand's width below the belly button. And hug your awareness deep into the pelvic bowl. Draw in, back and down, so you feel like you are sitting in that pelvic bowl, right at the front of your sacrum. Softening in here. And feel the womb being breathed. Feel the belly just gently moving in and out with each breath. I give myself permission to feel so that I may create as she creates. I give myself permission to feel my desires beyond my fears so that I may create as she creates. As Divine Mother creates herself, so may you create through the power and energetic pull of your deepest desires. Breathing from the womb, feel the love for yourself through the warmth of your hand or the warmth of your presence. Feel the love that you have for yourself. Healing all of the wounds of squashing your desires, of squashing and inhibiting the power that is wanting to rise up through you. And as we come into the mantra of Om Shri Mahalakshmiyei Namaha, feel the resonant frequency of that mantra just obliterating any of the obstacles in your physical body and in your energetic body, in your emotional body and in your mental body, any of the scarring, any of the wounding. Feel that frequency shaking it loose with the infinite compassion and love that is Lakshmi, because she is wanting that energy within you that is wanting to create is the Lakshmi energy. And let that frequency of her mantra obliterate any obstacles to that, to your capacity and power to create as she creates. Taking a breath in. Om Shri Mahalakshmiyei Namaha. 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 Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. Feeling the frequency of Lakshmi. Om Shri Mahalakshmiyei Namaha. And so it is. Swaha, Swaha, Swaha. Sensing your spine now as a extension of your womb, coming up your spine. And we're going to breathe into your womb. Feel the fullness of your womb, stoking the desires. And exhaling, drawing that energy up the spine and out through the crown of the head. Up the spine and out through the crown of the head. Activating all of the energy centers along the way. Inhale to womb space. Exhale up the spine. Inhale, womb space. Exhale, it's an effortless rising up the spine. We are stoking the desires, feeding the desires, and bringing them up to be activated. Continue with this breath, breathing into the womb. Exhaling up the spine and out through the crown. And these desires, they shower back around you. This Shakti energy is so healing and nourishing for you, as well as stoking the energy to enact these desires, to attract the collaborative components that are going to help you to birth these into reality. And now bring your attention to the center of the head, the point that is at the level of the ears. So you draw a line between the ears, and then you draw a line from your eyebrow center to the back of your head. There is a point, the bindu point, the very center of your head. And we're going to feed that point. So we're going to breathe into the womb. Exhale, draw your energy up the spine to hit this point, to feed and bathe this point. Activating the power of your highest self to collaborate with the source energy within you, beyond the mind, creating quantum solutions for that which your desires need to come to fruition. The complete balance of the divine feminine and masculine energies within you to bring something into reality with grace and ease. Breathing into the womb, exhaling up to the center point of the head, the bindu. And now bringing the attention to the center of the heart. Heart level, hugging in again to the spine. Breathing into the womb. Breathing up to the heart and exhaling, pouring out your compassionate love, beauty through your heart, through the expression of your desires. Breathing into the womb, breathing out through the heart. Into the womb, up the spine and out through the heart. And now just relax that breath and the energy. Come into subtle breath with an awareness of the center of the head, center of the heart, center of the womb, these three potent centers that work so intimately to keep you connected to the higher aspects of self, to bring forth the desires from that place rather than from the ego. Just sit in that awareness, sit in those 3 fields of presence, radiating this pure potential. It doesn't matter if you haven't anchored into a particular desire. We are sitting in the frequency of receiving desire, receiving and knowing activated potential within us. That resting potential place. And if there is a desire rising in you or has awakened in you and you are refeeding that, how far can you take it? See yourself already having enacted that. It is done. In the it is done energy. It's already there, manifested in the quantum field. There's just some steps to take in order to bring that into reality. So see it as already done. That is going to help you manifest everything that you need on every layer of your being, within and without, around you, to fulfill that. So see it as done. Feel how that feels to be done. What does that look like? How does it feel? What are highest possible outcomes from that? Hold that energy. Notice if you're able to hold that expansive light frequency, or if your mind or your energy starts to contract in and can't hold it. It's a real key indicator for you as to where you're at, and allowing and being able to hold those desires without judgment to yourself, but just noticing, okay, I'm shutting that down, or no, okay, I can really hold that, or I can hold it so far before this comes in. And you can come back to the mantra, to the breath, telling yourself that it's okay for you to feel, releasing the wounds of being limited in the past. It is safe for me to feel. It is right for me to feel. I am a creator as she creates. I allow the fullness of my desires. It is safe. It is safe right here, right now. Safe and necessary. Take a breath. Wherever you are right now, feeling whatever you're feeling right now, feeling your body, preparing to open your eyes with that expanded frequency. No need to shut it down. Contain in your physical body. Feel your physical body. Ground it, and as you open your eyes, have a little check in. Who is feeling yummy? Oh, so good. Have a look around you. Everything feels lit up in my world. Everything feels bright and colourful and light and joyful. But if you're not feeling that, I want to give you some reassurance. It has taken me a super long time to be able to hold the expansiveness, to be able to follow my source desires in spite of my mind or what other people might be saying or what my mental expectations were. It has been a real work in progress, along with a profound healing journey of releasing the wounds, some of which we touch on here in meditation, some of which is deep process work and body work. So if you're needing that kind of support, or you're feeling like you need that extra support, just know that there are people out there, myself included, that work deeply on that level. And the work that I do with them, really enjoying at the moment, and combining the body work that I do with emotional processing work and with deep dive work and with energy work. It's really, really potent combination. So if you're looking for something like that, because it's all about coherence across all levels of your being, do reach out. I have a few spaces coming up. Hello, beautiful Amanda. You are so, so welcome. And if you are wanting to connect as well in the real world and on the quantum, know that I've got the kirtan coming up on this Saturday. So we're going to be bringing in mantra. I got a loop station the other day, so I'm super excited. That was a desire that I really held, and it came in at just the right time in such a perfect way. I'm going to be playing that with that a little bit this week, and I'm hoping I might have one song ready to share that with you at the kirtan. So very excited about sharing music coming together. If you'd love to connect, maybe if you live a little further away, you've been watching and checking in with these meditations, and you would love to come and say hello real time. Don't worry if you've never been before. It's a really welcoming space, really, really supportive and joyful space. We'd love to see you there. You can find all the details on my page on the events, and emails have been coming out as well if you're on that list. So my desires are really activating this year around music and sound. Lots of exciting things that I will be dripping through in the field, but these meditations are always a space for you to connect in with what is wanting to be moved through you. So I hope that was a really powerful meditation for you today. Keep coming back into it, and remember, you can always extend out with your journaling as well, particularly if you struggle to really activate that energy. Some useful prompts would just be literally, again, I feel. Right now I am feeling. Right now I am feeling. My highest desires are. My highest desires are. And if you want to dive into anything which is limiting you, you can journal on that as well. Yeah, I heal all wounds that are restricting me, that are, right? And you might find that something really, really gets dug up from your deeper levels of consciousness to be released. Beautiful ones, have an incredible Monday. Love, love, love to you. Do share how you're feeling down here in the chat, and we'll see you next time, or on Saturday, or in the week at yoga, some of you. So much love to you. Until next time.